Welcome to another installment of English Teachers Tips. In today's video, we examine some of the key principles for teaching senior students the conventions and power of correct punctuation. As we all know, grammar didn't just fall out of the sky one day. It has always been around, and punctuation has been an intrinsic feature from the start. Punctuation marks are the safeguards of grammar. They do their jobs quietly in the background and are only seen when needed or to make a point. But punctuation is not just a list of rules. There are an array of expressional purposes behind each dot, comma, and question mark that students must understand to become effective writers. By its very definition, punctuation is naturally linked to meaning. Punctuation is the marks, such as full stops, commas, and brackets, used in writing to separate sentences and to clarify meaning. As Angela Petit declares, teachers must teach punctuation as a matter of style and to extend meaning, and only then will students understand the power of their words, even when those words are the dots and dashes of punctuation. Therefore, when it comes to senior students, it is vital for teachers to highlight not only the conventions of punctuation, but also the great impact a comma or a semicolon can have on a sentence and the message it sends to the reader. There are a range of current concepts in regard to the effective use of punctuation. For the purpose of this video, we will be taking a closer look at how punctuation marks signal a reader, and more specifically, the common mistakes students make when using or forgetting to use a comma. When exploring punctuation, students should be made aware that each punctuation mark has the ability to convey signals to the reader. Take the opening line of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Marley was dead, to begin with. Here, Dickens shows us how the positioning of punctuation can have great effect within a sentence. This sentence wouldn't be nearly as powerful if it read, Marley was dead, to begin with, or, to begin with, Marley was dead. Dickens' strategic choice of positioning creates an unmistakable sense of melancholy because of the colon, not the words. It is in the placement of the colon that the message of the sentence lies, for it is sometimes the creative use of punctuation that adds to a narrative in ways words cannot. Thus, it is imperative that teachers take the time to explicitly teach students how to critically analyze punctuation marks with just as much focus as the words on the page, because the difference between "let's eat Santa Claus" and "let's eat Santa Claus" is a matter of life and death. Now let's take a look at the principles for comma usage and how the misplacement of commas can directly affect the meaning of a sentence. To separate main clauses linked by a coordinating conjunction, used between adjectives when "and" could be substituted, or each word can stand alone in front of the noun and make sense, to set off irrelevant information, and to separate a series of items. When exploring how commas can be used in sentences, it is important to teach students not to overuse this punctuation mark where it is not needed. Take the sentence below. Alice despised both finding an apartment and looking for a new job. Here, the comma has separated the verb from its subject through the misplacement of the comma. By doing this, the comma has affected the meaning of the sentence and failed to signal to the reader the main message of the sentence. This is categorized as an expressional mistake. Another mistake that students commonly make is not using a comma to separate main clauses when they are linked by a coordinating conjunction. Take the sentence below. The steering was stiff, but the car cruised like a dream. This sentence requires a comma between the word stiff and the word but, as but is the coordinating conjunction. Again, this mistake is linked to communication, as the message of the sentence has been lost by not utilizing the separation function a comma can offer. Therefore, it is important to remember when teaching punctuation to focus on how punctuation supports meaning when creating text, as creating text is a vital aspect of the senior English curriculum, requiring students to use it effectively in all forms of writing. Just remember, you can have a grammatically incorrect sentence that's perfectly punctuated, but you will never find an incorrectly punctuated sentence that is perfectly grammatical. The study guide associated with this video offers further information as well as useful resources you can access to extend your knowledge. Lastly, the activities found within provide ideas that can be adapted into the classroom setting for all senior students.
Free created using Powtoon.